So I really just wanted pointy ears for this year's spooky season costume. It was kind of between elves or fae, and I really just despise ACOTAR, but I really enjoy some of the fan renderings. So I've decided to lay down my weapons for this video, because guys, we're joining the night court. Okay, so for this video, and I think the next video, because I have a feeling this is going to be a wee bit of content, I'm going to be making two Dark Fae costumes, one for myself and one for my friend Taylor, whom you might have seen in my last video about making some Hogwarts uniforms, which you can check out up here somewhere. Now, for my costume, I have this awesome sheer fabric that has these shimmery black velvet feathers on it, plus this shimmery crushed velvet here. So it's just going to be a whole lot of shimmer and shine, and I am here for it. Now, I'm on a bit of a time constraint with this video because I leave for Ireland in 7 days. So I'm going to be using the stays I made last year just to kind of speed up the process a bit. Just one garment that I do not need to worry about. My idea for this outfit is going to be making a blouse out of this that will go under the stays, of course, and then making a skirt with this peeking out underneath. That's kind of the goal for now. I really want to start on making a mock-up for my blouse because I think that's going to be the most difficult part of this project. What I'm planning is basically, it looks really wide, and that's the point because I want to put a channel in here to then put a ribbon through so that I cinch this whole neckline so that then it will come in further. And now that I'm looking at it, I think I actually need to lower the bust line because the cinching is going to go all throughout the shoulders and around the back. So with that cinching, it would then kind of pull it up a bit more. So I think I actually need to lower that because I'm going for more of like a pirate wench look. Okay, so I have this sewn together. It is one piece. And I also made a little strip of fabric that matches the neckline. So what I'm going to do with this is just pin it to the neckline, sew it together, and then flip it right side out. And what this is going to be is the back side of the channel of the neckline. Alright, so it's all sewn together, and I also put in this little lip on the inside so that it's a clean edge here, and then it has a channel. I also cut out a V because this is just gonna kind of scrunch together. So now I just need to get some sort of rope or a ribbon or something through here. All right, I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. I think it's what I want. I think what I need to do with the final fabric is just make it slightly larger so that I can cinch it a little bit more. I also need to kind of like even out the cinching, but I really like how it looks. And this bottom bit is also going to be cinched in, so that's going to be tighter to my waist. I think it looks just the right amount of peasant-y, and I'm going to spruce it up with all the other bits and bobs. So I think I can cut this out on the final fabric. I'm also like in a rush, so I feel the need to cut it out on the final fabric, and I'm impatient. So there's a lot of things going on here, but I'm gonna do it. All right, wish me luck. Okay, I got a zit that is driving me crazy. Just like won't leave me alone. Anywho, we have part of a non-blouse. This is it. This is what it looks like. Doesn't look like much at all, but I'm actually really liking what is going on with this. So now I need to kind of figure out what I want to do with the neckline, because I don't want to do what I did with the mock-up and have an extra layer of fabric around it. I think that would look a little too busy with this. What I think I'm going to do is, one, cover up the raw edges instead of like hemming them and like folding them over and I'm going to cover it with a gold trim and just do like a whip stitch, something that will kind of seal in these edges, even though I don't think this would fray at all, and then have some decoration around the neckline. I also think that for the cinching, what I'm going to do is basically create some piping with the velvet fabric for the skirt, and then line the neckline with that, and then have a ribbon or rope or something go through that piping. I think that would look really cool. Or elastic. I might do elastic too, just for something that's easy to get on and off. Alright, so now we have some pretty fun sleeves, but I think I'm going to make them even more crazy by doing kind of a tulip sleeve overlay with the velvet, just to make it a little bit more ridiculous. Alright everyone, this is my friend Taylor, and we're going to be starting on her dress thingy. Whatever we want to call it.
Dark celestial fairy dress.
Layered costume outfit thing. So we got some, we got two really fun fabrics. We got this really shimmery fabric that's going to be an underdress. And then under all my chaos over here, give me one sec. Oh dear. We got this beautiful sheer brocade fabric. Ah! That you can barely see in that light. I will do a close-up later. So what we're going to do is we're going to have an underdress that is just kind of the base layer. They're not going to be attached, so Taylor's going to be able to wear them separately if she wishes. And then this top layer is just going to be kind of a cloak that drapes over it, and we'll have a small underbust corset built into it. That is the goal. I got a couple days to work on this, so we're gonna watch some Harry Potter and get started. Yay! Morning. I stayed up very late last night working on this with Taylor. Well, we watched Chamber Secrets, so that was fun. It's kind of a hot mess right now, but I did get a lot done. So what I'm doing with the waistband, because talking to the camera was a lot of work last night, so I apologize. But basically what I did was I just had some fabric. This is very stretchy fabric, but I wrapped it around a thick piece of elastic that's about that big. And the reason I did that is, like, I could have created a waistband with just the sheer fabric, but I think it would have gone through too much wear and tear. So I thought having some extra stability and security with that bit of elastic was going to be more comfortable and last longer. So I covered it with the fun fabric, and now I'm pinning the bodice to it. So this, I just draped it on her. I don't remember if I filmed that actually. Sorry. So today what I'm going to work on is getting the skirt officially onto the waistband, and then getting that one bit onto the waistband, and then when I see her next time, I will drape the second half on her. Alright, so I did a good chunk of work last night trying to get the bodice draped onto Taylor so that it fit her properly and pinning it to the waistband. So I'm kind of frustrated with this plan, but I think I'm going to undo that. I think it's worth taking it off now, not having to work around it. So, I don't know about you guys, but when I run out of bobbin thread, I just kind of want to give up. It's really, I have no excuse for it. It's silly. It takes me 5 seconds to refill a bobbin, but I end up just like sitting here and just staring at it for like 5 minutes because it's ruined everything. Okay, so I spent the last, wow, this light is real great. Let's back up a bit. So I spent the last like hour hemming the big panel that goes around the back for the skirt. You don't really realize how much fabric there is for a full skirt until you have to clean up all those raw edges. But that was a good chunk of work. So now I need to do the same with the front panel. But what I think I'm going to do with this before I do anything with hemming, I'm going to taper this down just a little bit, maybe like 2-3 inches, so that it just has a little bit more of an angle and it wants to fall in to have that little slit. So, oh, string. So I'm going to just cut off a little bit of fabric, taper that, then hem it. Cool. Alrighty, so the skirt part is somewhat done. Oh, there's something attached to it. Cool, 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 cool. But what I've realized is that working with elastic for me is apparently extremely difficult. Like my brain just does not want to process elastic. So the elastic moves, but because I sewed the gathered part with non-elastic thread, the thread doesn't want to move. So the skirt looks great. It's the getting it on part that's a problem. So joy. Okay, JK. Good news. I went in and took out the string that I used to gather the fabric, and it's actually now stretching easily, or more at least. So thank God. Alrighty, so now that that is all done, I am going to take a little break today because I went to the store and picked up a wee little ladder and whatever this is from my wee baby miceys. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in their cage because they like new stuff and I think they'll have fun with this. They are very intrigued, which is just the cutest thing. I love them so much. Good morning. So, I'm really happy that I got so much work done yesterday on the underdress. So now that that is 90% done, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the outer dress so that I can just do a fitting on her when I see her next, which will be like tomorrow. For the outer dress, we're going to work with this beautiful fabric here. It is gorgeous and has a very satisfying weight to it, which is nice. I I personally like that. And my idea with this is to follow a similar shape of the underdress, but have it a little bit more elaborate. It will be more of like a robe style so that it will be open and then you just close it with the strings at the waist, hence the need for something underneath it. So I started working on a dress like 8 months ago, 9 months ago, I don't know. I didn't get very far. It was pissing me off. But it looks kind of like this. This is the mock-up for it. And what I really like about this pattern is that it has a very simple top that has a couple darks down here around the bust line. And then it has this panel that is very similar to an underbust corset. And I think if I just widen that a bit, make it a little bit thicker, and then add some boning, that could be exactly what I'm looking for. So I have Taylor's measurements. The nice thing is that it doesn't need to fit her like exactly because it's going to be a corset style, so it can have some like a gap in the center, which I think she wants a little bit of a gap there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that. So we got 4 yards of this fabric. So right off the bat, I'm going to cut off 2 yards for the skirt. Then I think that will leave me a good yard to play with for the bodice and the underbust corset thingamajigger. And then that will also leave me another solid yard for sleeves because she wants some elaborate sleeves. So So with the skirt, what I decided to do was pleat it. I think that's a better option because it's not as bulky as gathering. I think for the underdress with that lightweight, thin fabric, it made sense. But for this, it would just be really bulky and awkward. So I think the pleats actually look really good. I just did some simple box pleats. I need to go back in and adjust some of them because I need to expand it a couple inches. And then I'm just going to sew the top portion, get those pleats just like in there, and then the skirt will be ready to go to attach to the bodice when I figure that out. The skirt is about as done as it's going to get at the moment. I think it's a little too long, but that's good because once I get it onto her, I can adjust it. I'd rather it be long than short. There we go. So now it's time to start in on the underbust corset. I don't think that's going to be too difficult. I also don't think it needs to be like form-fitting because it's not really going to be supportive. It's just decorative. I think that should be fairly simple. So I have the pieces of a waistband underbust thing cut out. It looks cool. I like the design. And okay, we're gonna pause this right here for a sec. Hi, welcome to Ireland. It is a very blustery day and I'm trying to edit this video for y'all. But I came across this section and I have no idea what I'm saying, so I figured I'd just clarify what I'm talking about here. Basically, in this segment, I discovered that I'm working with sheer fabric. So if I put two pieces back to back, then you can see the back of one fabric through the other fabric. Pretty obvious, but it wasn't to me at the time. Then I go on to talk about basically the seams, and I'm worried about the seams with mesh fabric, especially for something that's like a corset, something that's more structural and supportive, though this isn't really a supportive garment. But I talk about wanting to put in some extra fabric, especially along the seams, just to make those seams stronger. And I was going to use bias tape, but you'll see why that's a problem in a moment. Okay, cool. Okay, JK, this is all I have left. So I'm going to find, I know I have black fabric somewhere, or maybe I'll just use the leftover sparkly fabric from the underdress and use that to strengthen the seams. All right, I really like the way this is looking. However, there is a lot of mesh and I'm very concerned about the stability of it. So I dug out the remaining fabric from the sparkle attack. I'm gonna use this in between the two layers, or just use one layer of this fabric and use 2 layers of this, something just to give a little bit more backing, a little bit more structure. I think it's necessary. So we might have hit a little snag. I know I have some extra boning somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Okay, it's been, I think, 20 minutes, but I found it. It had fallen out of the back of one of the cubbies, but it's here. We got it. Let's do this. Ow. Did I rearrange my sewing room 3 days before leaving for Ireland? Yes. Yes, I did. But sadly, you guys gotta wait till the next video to see the results of my sewing room and the Faye outfits, because this video is getting a little long. So, I hope y'all enjoyed. Stay tuned for part 2 coming up in 2 weeks from the date this is posted. Obviously. Go ahead and leave a comment below, like this video, or even subscribe. Stay sane, stay safe, and stay healthy, and I'll see y'all next time.